If we're right about SWE that it gets into the top 10 and potentially the top 5 in this cycle, well, the liquidity layer is going to be extremely valuable. So, there could potentially, and it's not a recommendation, but it could do a 10x. So this is how I'm saying there are ways of having leverage plays on top. Okay, let's go back to the liquidity story.
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. In this video, Raoul delves into the concept of life-changing money and navigating the banana zone of investment opportunities. Let's catch up with Pal to uncover his unique insights on wealth creation.
So the liquidity story here is, oh my God, and I've been sent this chart 1,000 times by people. Oh my God, what happens? Is it all over? Is this the peak? Is this the end? Do we get out now? What happens? What happens? Panic, 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 bullshit. Okay, we had exactly the same thing last time Trump was elected. The dollar was strong, rates went up, liquidity contracted, the market had a big rally, which is Bitcoin, and then in January, because of the lag, what we found was a sharp 27% correction in Bitcoin. And then it ripped higher. Ripped higher so much, in fact, that it went up 23x. Now, I'm not expecting that because this was a much earlier cycle. But what we're saying is that correction is not to fear. That correction is just a marker point from phase 1 of the banana zone to phase 2 of the banana zone. Phase 2 of the banana zone usually goes into US tax season, which is like April. Then there's usually a consolidation because people have to sell tokens to pay taxes. And then there's usually phase 3 of the banana zone is the rip into year end. And that's all driven by the liquidity cycle. So we can see these banana zone periods as they start appearing. Bitcoin just does this every time, like Doge does. So we've just broken that part of the cycle. So this is the start of the banana zone as we start accelerating higher. Going back to liquidity, here's Global M2. You see, Global M2 does this a lot. It also wedges. I love a wedge. They're the best chart patterns in the world. And what happens is it has a break higher, then this consolidation. It's happened every time we've got to the banana zone period, the kind of US election cycle, stuff like that. So we've done that. We've corrected the breakout. Now, Global M2 is actually driven by the strength of the dollar. Now, the dollar has started to weaken. We expect it to weaken going forwards, and that will then reignite the next phase of the banana zone as we start bouncing higher. You can see those corrections in M2 were short. Now, the reason being is we've got to roll all of this global liquidity. We've got massive amounts of debt to roll over, and you need liquidity to do it. So that is the game, the big game, the everything code game that I've talked to you about. So the everything code game is very much at play. This is a phase, the early phase of the breakout. This year is the year of liquidity, and that's why the year ahead, and that's why the banana zone plays out so beautifully.
Bitcoin's meteoric rise above $108,000 now seems like a distant memory, as market analysts warn of a potential crash to as low as $18,000. Struggling to hold the critical $100,000 level, Bitcoin has faced relentless sell-offs, dropping below $95,000. According to cryptocurrency analyst NFOs, psychological resistance at 6 figures has proven insurmountable, triggering a bearish reversal. This, coupled with Bitcoin's sharp rejection from its ascending triangle formation, signals the possibility of a steep downturn. Legendary trader Peter Brand supports this grim forecast, likening Bitcoin's movement to a hump slump bump dump pump pattern. This cyclical trajectory suggests a looming crash, with key support levels in the $88,000 range teetering precariously. Despite minor gains, Bitcoin's bearish trend remains strong, with long-term optimism tied to regulatory clarity in 2025. As Bitcoin consolidates near $95,000, Breaking below $92,000 could catalyze further declines, sending it towards $60,000 and beyond.
The explosion is always the banana zone, and Doge is the strongest characteristic of the banana zone. It's this massive meme that gets the world's attention. It has been going since 2013, and it has been unstoppable. And look at the breakout levels. Now, if we repeat anything like we did the last two banana zone periods, we've got a hell of a ride to come. So Doge is something that I keep a close focus on. And again, once we zoom down to the shorter term time horizon, Doge, and again, this is slightly out of date, this is from yesterday, but Doge is wedging yet again. These wedges are fabulous patterns in bull markets or bear markets, depending which way you're looking at, but they consolidation, the pause that refreshes, next leg higher. So we're expecting any day now, digestion of a little bit of the move we had with Bitcoin going to 104,000, consolidate, then something will break. I don't know what it was. Sui broke yesterday, broke to the upside. Now it's consolidating. Maybe it's Doge tomorrow. And this rolling breakouts is how it happens. Then consolidation. And as people build confidence, we start moving into, okay, bigger correction to come. Doge Bitcoin is like, I think, the most humorous chart in all of humanity. What it's saying is since Doge came out in 2013, it's outperformed Bitcoin by 500%. It's suggesting that Doge is the hardest currency in the known galaxy. Now, if that chart plays out and it breaks that kind of downward sloping wedge or whatever channel, and we go to a new high, I mean, that's telling us something that we can't get our heads around, that Doge is literally a better currency than Bitcoin. And I know that's contentious. I'm just looking at the charts. I find it hilarious. We may be living in a simulation, and it's probably Elon's simulation. Therefore, this works. One of the memes you all know I've got, Smoking Chicken Fish. Smoking Chicken Fish did a perfect rip up and then long-term consolidation, which happens to be a wick-off reaccumulation pattern. We should expect it to go to the top of the range around the sort of 120, 130 level, chop around there for a bit and then explode higher. So, you can use these kind of patterns as well. But again, they're all suggestive that we're in the banana zone, the first leg of the banana zone. Not everything sinks. They come one after the other, Then we get a big correction. And maybe in that bigger correction, it could be the majors correct and the alts explode higher. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to wait and see. I don't trade it. And we'll talk about that correction in a bit. Smoking Chicken Fish broke out of the downward sloping wedge pattern as well. So again, just more confirmation. Here's a leverage play on SUI, which is deep book, which is the liquidity layer for SUI. So the more, if you think of like the Jupiter idea, the more activity that happens on SUI, the more deep book is likely to go up. And it's like $180 million right now as an entire value.
Bitcoin's price trajectory hints at a bearish turn, with a chart pattern suggesting a potential drop below $80,000, possibly as low as $76,000. Recent attempts to reclaim the $100,000 level have been met with persistent selling pressure, and the psychological resistance has held strong. The 50-day simple moving average has proven to be a formidable barrier, and Bitcoin's inability to maintain higher levels reflects waning momentum among buyers. Despite these challenges, other cryptocurrencies like BNB, AAVE, and Virtual's protocol have shown resilience. BNB remains in a consolidation phase, oscillating between key levels as bulls aim to push it past $722 for a potential rally. AAVE faces a struggle at the 20-day EMA, with a symmetrical triangle pattern indicating possible continuation of its upward trend. Meanwhile, XMR has formed a bullish ascending triangle, signaling a potential breakout toward $228. Virtual's protocol continues to climb after breaching resistance at $3.33, with $4 in sight. As Bitcoin faces potential corrections, these assets offer a glimmer of strength in an uncertain market. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.